What is going on, guys? This is Albino Raven here, and so this is going to be episode number 2. You might notice I'm in a new spot. This is going to be my new office. It's just, there's going to be a lot of changes to this room coming in the next month or so. But this is going to be where the magic happens. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's get into episode number 2. We got a lot of good stuff to cover, so make sure you hang out. Guys, I'm going to say this real quick at the very beginning of the video. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. You join my Discord. The link will not be in the description because I can't get to stay permanent. So what you gotta do is you have to comment and ask me, how do I get in the Discord? I'll send you the link. You join the Discord. I got a ginormous competition going on right now. Ginormous. And essentially, we've got a $50 gift card on the line. Every 8 weeks, we give away a $50 gift card. Now, that can be to Xbox, PS4, or Steam. Your choice. All you got to do, join the Discord, check out the rules section, and I'll catch you guys there. Alright, guys, so basically what we got going on here is we are going to explain a few things. First thing is first, we're going to explain these lookout points. What they are, what they do, etc. I need to make sure I need to make sure that I have some that are not unlocked. Okay, well, essentially what the lookout points are is this area right here. Usually on your map, whenever you first start out, it's going to look pretty blank. It's going to be all darkened out except these little guys here. They're going to be a green circle with binoculars. You want to go get those. Why? Because they give you XP. XP helps you level up. Leveling up helps you unlock stuff like skills, perks, guns, all kinds of other good stuff. There's a very important, and whenever you discover these, you go up, you walk up the tower and you hit survey. It shows you where the next thing that I'm going to explain to you guys are, which are outposts. Outposts are very important. Whenever you unlock all these outposts, and the way you see them on the map is a green circle with a black house in the middle. So, those are very important, like I said, because, guess what? You can fast travel to them when you unlock them. Fast traveling is huge. You want to be able to fast travel to stuff because you want to be able to get there a lot quicker than having to hope that, instead of having to walk the entire the map, you can just fast travel, like we're going to do here. Now, you also ask, well, what can you do in Outposts? Well, let me show you whenever we get there. So, we're here. And first off, actually, let's start off with what you do whenever you get inside of the Outpost itself. Now, you see this, it has a bed. It says you can rest. What that does is, one, you can change your time for whatever time you want to hunt at. That'll depend on your need zone times as to what you're wanting to hunt, which is in episode 1. That stuff is explained. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out. It'll be the first video in this playlist, I believe. I'll also make sure I put up a card up there. Second thing is, let's say you get trampled by a European bison, which is very possible in this map because they have European bison. On the bottom right of your screen next to your compass, which we talked about last episode, you'll see your health bars, the little plus sign with the green bar going across. Every time you rest, you essentially you gain all your health back. Now, you can pick what time you want to rest till. A lot of people say with respawns, if you go every 3 days, which is very expensive to do, but let's say you've gone and you've done a run for a certain animal, just say fallow deer, for instance. Well, you want to get those respawns. Some people say if you go and you rest for 3 days, which would mean that I rest once now, I hit it again, I go down 1 minute, not forward, I go down a minute. That way there's a full 24-hour cycle, or 23 hours, 59-minute cycle. I do it again. Then I do it a third time. Some people say that is how you get your respawns for the animals, and then you go out and you do it again, and so on and so forth. Nobody knows how respawns work, so I'm not so 100% sure on that. Some people say that they work if you, so let's say you do your run and then you go to a new map, right? Like you hit square, which it says toggle reserve selection. On Xbox it's X. On PC I don't know what it is, but it'll tell you whenever you hit your map button on the bottom if you toggle reserve selection. You'll hit that and you'll jump around to whatever reserve. So let's say I just did a fallow deer run, right? I leave this reserve, go to Layton Lakes, and then I come back to Hirschfeld, and immediately those respawns are supposed to be there. Does it work that way? I don't know. That is actually from Flinter, is where I got that from, so he probably knows more about the game than I do, so, you know, he probably knows what he's talking about, right? So on and so forth. So that is what's there. That's the whole resting thing. Now, we'll go over here to the storage. This is where you can buy all your things. This is in the store. You buy your guns, your collars, your weapons, your scopes, your ammo, all kinds of fun stuff, right? A tent is the exact same thing as an outpost, by the way. You're just basically, it's like a portable outpost. You can take it with you. So keep that in mind. Storage. This tells you how much storage you can bring with you. Look at the right side of your screen with the gun. If you see a 2.5 with a bag looking thing, that's telling you that that's going to take a 2.5 space of the 20. So you kind of have to kind of work around that, you know, make sure you're within that, because otherwise you can't carry it. And you definitely want to make sure you can carry that, because, you know, that otherwise what good are you doing, right? What good is it? Next thing, you go to store. Say I want to buy let's say I want to buy the 270 for whatever reason, right? Well, I wonder what weapon class these animals are good for. Like, I wonder what weapon class the 270 ammo is good for. There's two ways you can check this. One, you can go down to ammo in your store, and it'll say on the right side of your screen underneath the ammo, there's 4 little sections. One of them says recommended classes. 2 to 4 for 223. 243 is class 2 to 6. 270 is 4 to 8, so on and so forth, right? You guys get the picture. Well, how do I know what class an animal is? Well, good question. So, you've got, whenever you spot the animal, up in the right-hand corner, it'll show a little thing, and I'll show a little clip of that probably here in the next couple seconds, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about whenever you spot the animal. Or what you can do is you'll go down to you'll hit, for me it's start button, options button, sorry. You'll go to this menu, right, wherever you hit your inventory, I don't know, your map menu. That's the one you need to go to. Go down to codex. Hit wildlife. Boom. There's every single animal on here, and it'll tell you right above it in the middle of the screen at the top. There'll be a little animal, a white circle with an animal inside of it, and then a number. That'll tell you what class they are. So European bison 9, coyote 2, caribou 6, so on and so forth. So there's that. So you know, you kind of want to keep in mind what that is, right? So you'll want to match whatever weapon. So let's say I want to kill a caribou, right? Well, they're class 6. So I need to make sure that my recommended classes area 6 is within that range that they give me. So there you go. That's kind of how you can tell what gun is going to give you the full score, full medals, and all that stuff. So yeah, calls. How to know which calls to use. So you go to your store, go down to collars. Right underneath the collar, so you'll see the collar, it says Antler Rattler and it has a picture of it. Right underneath it, it'll say affected species. These are the species that work for that collar. So the Antler Rattler only works for fallow deer, reindeer, caribou, lesser kudu, gemsbok, and blackbuck. Axis deer only works for axis deer. The deer bleat, whitetail, blacktail, mule deer, so on and so forth. You guys get the picture, right? So that is how you know what call to use for what animal. Now, you'll ask, how many times can you hit the collar, or do they get spooked? I have never seen an animal get spooked from you using the collar too many times. That is kind of where the whole, is it realistic? Calling, not really so much, because they tend to, you could hit it 200 times and they'll still come in. So, there's that. Also, below the affected species, it says range. 250 meters for this collar. Not all collars are the same, obviously, because this one only reaches 150. So you kind of need to look at that and be able to tell how far away that animal is if he's going to hear the collar. Which, if you don't have the rangefinder, in my first video, I showed you how to find the range without a rangefinder. So go check that out. Last thing is you are going to learn how to use the zeroing. So, whenever you go to perks and you go to rifles, there's a perk here called zeroing. This is very, very, very important that you get this perk. No other perks matter. Any other green perk, don't get it, don't bother. Skill or perk, don't waste your money because you can't use them. If you're using zeroing, you can't use any of the other ones. They're not worth it. This is the only one you need to get, and it's under perks, under rifles. Very, very important. Now, what is zeroing, people may ask? Glad you asked. Let's go to Hirschfelden's shooting range, which, if you don't know where the shooting range is in Hirschfelden, there's an outpost right here. It's in the bottom, it's literally in the bottom right of your map. There's an island. It's in the very, very bottom of the island. Once you discover it, you can fast travel there, but you have to travel to it and discover it just like an outpost before you can fast travel. Now that we have that there, we're going to show you what it looks like to zeroing and exactly how zeroing works. Alright, so now we're here at the shooting range, and we're going to go into this little room. Now, if you notice in the bottom right hand screen, you'll see a 150M. That's saying that I'm zeroed for 150 meters. Now I cycle through it by hitting R1. I have 75, 300, and 150. That's not the same for all weapons. Case in point, for my 22, I have 50, 100, and 150. So it just depends. It just changes on how that is. That's just the way it is. So, right now, my target is going to be 100 meters away. So I can shoot at any target, and where I hit is going to be 100 meters away. Now look in there. Exactly right in the middle, dead bullseye, right? I hit 150. Now, let's zero for 50, and the target's still at 100 meters. But I'm going to zero my gun for 50, which means that this reticle is aimed for 50 meters because I'm zeroed for 50 meters. Let's see where the bullet goes. See how it dropped? Not that much, but the bullet dropped a lot. That's because where I was aiming is only for 50 meters, and the target was for 100. So there's going to be some drop in there. The bullet will still travel 150 meters, so to speak, but it will only, it's going to drop. So, yeah, that's kind of how that works. So whatever the closest range is to where you're going to zero is how you want to do it. Now, let's zero for 150, and my target is still at 100 meters, right? So let's shoot dead center. Let's shoot dead center. See how much higher I went? I'll do it again to make sure that I aimed, dead center. But boom. See how much higher? That's because my reticle is supposed to be pinpointed for 150, not 100. So it's higher because the bullet's going to go at a higher angle, per se, because of that. So, yeah. Again, way higher at 100 meters. Now, I won't change I'm not going to change the zeroing. You'll notice it'll stay at 150. Let's go in here and change the target to 150. Now, theoretically, obviously, that should be exactly on the money now. So let's see. Boom. Bullseye. Besides the fact that I suck at shooting. Perfect. There you go. So there is episode number 2 of the class. The zeroing and the outposts explained, lookouts explained, all that stuff. How to use your collars, what collars to use. Next episode, I'm going to explain to you guys what weapons I don't recommend buying, what weapons I use. I might even throw my perks and skills into that one. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys do enjoy the series, and I hope you guys get a lot from this. Yeah, so make sure you guys check out the Discord again, subscribe, like the video so other people hear about it. Maybe they can learn something as well. I will catch you guys later. Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. Peace. Keep fishing, keep hunting, keep praying.